Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Comic Vantage. Now, you're probably wondering why we have such an odd angle going on with today's video. Well, that's because we are going to do something completely different today, and I am going to do an instructional video, a tutorial, a how-to, if you will. And we are going to do a little series on how to clean and press comic books. Now, a lot of people like to keep this information a little close to the hip, but I'm like, just get it all out there. Let everybody have all the information. So I'm going to show you the techniques that I use for cleaning and pressing comic books. This is going to be a multi-part series. This is part one with just cleaning the comics. Now, I do have to state right off, there is a disclaimer. I am not responsible for damage caused to your books. This was a trial and error process for me. I did find a lot of free information out online and stuff. But like I said, I'm not responsible for damage caused to your books. This is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Woo! All right. So with that being said, let's start with the tools you will need for cleaning comic books. First and foremost, you want to get yourselves a pair of latex gloves. Now, I have these black, gorgeous latex gloves. You can find these almost anywhere, grocery stores, automotive stores. I buy them from Uline in a bucket. Yeah, it's like 500 pairs of gloves in a bucket. They actually call it a bucket of gloves. I absolutely love it. So that is the most important thing you are going to need. Second thing you are going to need, either cotton rounds or regular Kleenex, unlotioned, regular plain Kleenex. You do not want Kleenex with lotion on it. That will not be a happy time for your comic book. Next thing is a polymer eraser. I like how tiny this thing is because you can actually see that I use it. Now, for polymer erasers, I actually use the ones that come in like these little click erasers, the refills. You can buy these at most hobby stores, or you can order them on eBay or Amazon. You can buy the refills in packs of like 3 or 4. And you can see this is how it sort of files down when you use it. I only use this for cleaning comic books, and those points naturally happened, which is very happy accident for getting into little corners. Polymer eraser. Next up, kneaded eraser. Now, we've all seen these and had fun playing with them. Nobody really has any idea how to use them. You can use them to clean comic books. Now, here is a nice, well-loved and well-used kneaded eraser. So, there we go. Now, for some of the more specialty items is we have Absirine Dirt Eraser. Instantly cleans, attracts dirt dust like a magnet. This is what's actually used in most book restoration or document restoration places to clean their documents. I mean, if it's good enough for Declaration of Independence, it's good enough for me and your comic books. Now, 2 parts with this. Usually when you buy this, you get the Absirine Dirt Eraser and you get Absirine Paper and Book Cleaner Putty. This stuff is amazing. This is actually a new tub. They usually come together in a pack. You can pick them up on Amazon. I forget the price. This is a nice, fresh, brand new tub. It looks, and smells like Play-Doh. This stuff is so good. Do not eat it. All right. Next up, a little bit harsher supply. We have Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Now I bought this fresh brand new box to do this video with, and I was like, this feels a little weird. Opened it up. I actually got stiffed an eraser. There was only 1 in the box, and there's supposed to be 2. Anyway, little complaint there. All right, let's actually move some of the stuff out of the way so we can show you some of the other things we have. And the last 2 things that, actually the last 3 things that will come in handy is you are going to want copy paper. Yes, standard copy paper. Now, this is actually sort of a optional. You really don't need this. Actually, some of this stuff is optional. If you find you can do without it, don't even bother. A lot of times, like an eraser by itself would be great for a book. And you want magazine size backboards. And last but not least, this is one of the things I really enjoy using, a blacklight flashlight. That is correct, a blacklight flashlight. So we're going to start with that. I'm going to show you why. So first up, let's put on our magic gloves. Yes. Oh, I love these things. Amazing. This is to prevent any further oils and residues getting on the very expensive comic books you plan on cleaning. There's a little crack of the knuckles. All right, first up, let's show you our victim for today. Oh, look at that. Now let me readjust my camera here. More of an angle, there we go. All right, DC Comics presents issue number 47. The first appearance of He-Man in comic books. Now this is a perfect candidate for cleaning and pressing. Most of these wrinkles, as you can see, are very surface. They do not run through the book. We have some in the front and the back. And we are going to work some wonders. Actually, this back really isn't all that dirty, which is nice. That is going to be an awesome book when we are done. Now, first thing, our copy paper. Now, this is going to serve dual purpose. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take it and you're going to want to put it in your front and back covers. Now, you might be wondering why. Now, when you flash your black light on the cover, if there are any holes or defects in the cover, they will glow like the sun because of this thing behind it. As we can see, there are no holes in this cover. So that's the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to inspect the book for even unseen damages. Let me grab another backboard here. Now, one of the other things I like to do, which kind of preps us for getting ready to press the book later, is I want to take that magazine-sized backboard. I will find the center of the book, and I am going to press this backboard directly up against the staples. There we go. Now we have a nice kind of rigid surface to work with. And when you put this book into the press, that backboard will actually stay in there when the book is pressed. That will all be explained in the second episode. Getting ahead of ourselves. Here we are just cleaning. Okay, so first thing we like to do is we are going to take either our tissue or our cotton rounds or you can use a lint-free cloth. And you're just going to wipe this gently across the surface. This is just to remove any dust or loose dirt particles that are on here to start with. All right. You do that to the front and the back of the book. And as you can see, we are already starting to lift dirt just with that. There we go. All right. Look at that. Just from that, I don't know if you can actually see that very well. My white balance on my camera sort of takes it out, but there is a swipe of dirt right there. Nice and easy. The next thing that we usually do is we start tackling some of the harder to get areas or the darker with our polymer eraser. Now, this should only be used on the white areas of the books because this will lift color. And we all know that most of the time on a book, the white areas are the ones that get the dirtiest. Now, like I said, I don't see a lot of dirt on this book. Nothing that I should really be tackling with an eraser. So I happen to have a second book so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about here. All right, so I've just bought it or just picked up or grabbed a random book out of the hundreds I have laying around, and you can see we have a nice little swipe of dirt. Everybody's seen that before on comic books. Now the key word here is patience, people. You want to take your time when you're doing stuff like this. If you go a little too fast, you're going to rip your comic book. There is another disclaimer, not responsible for damage caused due to impatience. All right, so we're just going to take our eraser here, and literally we are just going to rub it on that area. Now, we all remember what that looked like before, right? Look at that now. It's gone. And I only did a small section right in here just so you can see what I was talking about. Oh, here's another one. That one's gonna be fun. So I use my magazine size backboards to kind of cover the book on the areas I'm not working with to prevent me from tearing or ripping. And it's actually good habit to protect areas you are not working on. Now I'm going to try to just get a swipe in the middle here so you can actually see what I'm talking about. There we go. I kind of made a swipe right there. Now I'm going to tackle the whole thing. And that's just a quick pass. We can hit that later on with a little something else and actually get it to come completely off. But like I said, you only want to use this on white areas. If you use it in the colored areas, anything that has color, you are going to remove the color. Actually, this is a trash comic book, so let me just, there we go. I don't know if you can see the difference right there. That is where I just erased. And this is why never use this on areas that have been colored. Look at that. I completely faded his and her face right there and his hair. All right. Now, let us get back to our He-Man book. We're going to bring this back. Next step, we are going to hit this with a little dirt eraser. That is right. Now, the dirt eraser serves two purposes. One, you can actually use it to clean your book. Two, you can use it to clean your eraser, which is kind of nice. So it's an eraser for an eraser. Mind blown. All right. Magic eraser. Very, very, very easy to use. Now, let me show you what we do here. You take your magic eraser, you lay it on the book. Literally, you just lay it. And you let the pressure of the eraser itself clean the book as you gently run it across. Now, this thing is a little on the sticky side. It's almost like vulcanized rubber, if I'm not mistaken. And this will snag and grab tears and rips. So you have to be extra careful. Like I said, we are here to clean books, not destroy them. Be careful when you're working around the edges, especially if you have tears. You kind of want to work your way out. So that way, if you start working this way, you're going to lift that corner and you're going to bend it. So work in the other direction, people. We're actually not getting much off of here, which is really nice. You know, this thing is more a press candidate than it is cleaning. It's actually very pretty as far as a clean goes. All right. And then we will flip this over and we will do the back. You know, if you don't have a nice clean surface area like this to work on as well, you can use these magazine backboards and put them down as your work area. They are large enough. Like I said, we're just using the weight of the magic eraser itself. We are not pressing down at all. All right, now once we are done with that, nice and simple, right? Giving a nice couple passes on it. All right, and like I said, once you are finished with this part, you can actually, just take your little polymer eraser and just rub it across the top here, and it will clean your eraser. Pretty nice too. Look at that. Oh, it's like magic. Okay, so that portion is done. Now the next thing we're going to want to do is we are going to use our Absarine putty. All right, Absarine putty. And we're going to grab a small square of this. You don't need too much right there. We just got a little chunk. Both the Absarine eraser and the Absarine putty remove a lot of dirt and oil from the cover. Now we're going to take this putty and we're just going to sort of make our little, everybody remembers doing this as a kid. All right, pressing this out. Now we're going to take this, lay it on our book, and we are going to gently roll it across. Now this stuff here is a little on the sticky side, so when you get to the edges again, be super careful, especially if you have rips or tears or other folds, as this will just lift them up and refold them. And if you come in this direction, it's going to lift those corners and it's going to put folds that were never there originally. Now you just put light pressure and you just roll this across. And we can see already the color is a little darker. Actually, you really can't tell that well on the camera because it's lifting oils and dirts. Nice, right? Oh, look at that. Ooh, book restoration. Like I said, on a majority of the books, I'm just going worst case scenario here. A lot of this stuff won't be needed. A lot of the time, you're going to be able to do what you have to do with your napkins and an eraser. This is really just for hardcore stuff and for more expensive books that you really want them to look good. All right, front done. Now let's do the back. Like I said, very careful around the edges. Now, there comes a time when you cannot use this stuff, though. And we will go back to our other book, and I will show you what I'm talking about after we give this here just a good rub down. It's a happy little comic book. I channeled my inner Bob Ross there for a second. All right, done. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This stuff should never be used on modern books, okay? It's safe to use on most Silver Age, Bronze Age, Golden Age, but when it comes to modern, it shouldn't be used on anything, say, around 2000 and later. And I'm wondering if it will do it on this book. It's just let's see what year, 2002, hopefully. A lot of times with this newer glossy paper, this stuff did not react very well. So let's see if it actually does it. Oh, it doesn't. Of course not. A lot of times on newer books, it will actually stick to it and leave a crazy residue. So always test this stuff out on kind of a reader copy first, if you can. It is safe on most older books, but still maybe try it on a corner first. I'm actually very shocked that this is working. But then again, also, like I said, a lot of times this isn't needed. This is worst case scenario if you're trying to bring back one of the worst books ever. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, what do I use if I can't use Absarine? That's where our kneaded eraser comes into place. Oh, you can actually see it left some residue on my gloves there. It will kind of do that to your books if you use it on the wrong book. So the kneaded eraser, you really have to work this stuff till it's nice and warm. If you've ever used kneaded erasers before, they start out like bricks, but after warming them up and, massaging them for about 5 or 10 minutes, they do get really soft. And then you can use this to clean some of the more stubborn areas. But with this, you do not roll it over the book. Instead, you will take it and you will sort of dab and press and lift. Press and lift across the entire front and back of the book. Now it might be kind of tedious, but it will lift dirt and oils. And once you get a dirty spot, you just knead it again. And then press, press, press. Be careful again once you come to the corners, because look, this will. And if you're holding in the wrong spot, you're going to tear. You can use these to help you out. So that way you're not lifting areas you shouldn't be. Magazine-sized backboards. They really are amazing to use for everything other than magazine-sized comics. All right. So now, once we have that done, the very last thing that we're looking at for cleaning our books, and again, this is apocalypse level. Be careful with it because, wow, magic erasers are pretty crazy, and they will lift pretty much anything. They will destroy covers with a good swipe. So to make this a little safer to work with, you want to take a pair of scissors and you want to cut small chunks. Usually about 1-inch squares is kind of a good estimate to work with. Like I said, a lot of times you are not going to need these. So with magic erasers, you have your textured side, which should be the top, and you have this, which should be the bottom. Now, even this is a little too big, but you can use this now to work in your white areas only. Do not, I repeat, do not work in the colored area of the book. And again, man, look at that. Pretty crazy what this can do. Let's see, we got some nice texture going on there. And look at that. It is now gone. It used to look like that, and now it looks like this. All right, actually, let's see what this does if I just swipe across the cover. Yeah, that's why you never use erasers or anything like this on colored areas of books. I actually ruined that too, so I wonder if I can use the other sides. It is the same material. Never tried that before. Oh, totally. Look at that. Wow. Man, this really does a great job cleaning. You can cut these into smaller, more manageable sizes if you have smaller areas you want to work with and you're afraid that you're going to get into the colored areas of the books. So that's that, people. Cleaning comics should be taken in steps. And when you do it properly, it comes out great results. So always remember, take your time. Patience, patience, patience. Let's recap. Start off with lint-free cloth, Kleenex, or cotton round to get rid of dirt and dust. Next thing, hit it with an eraser. That's right, an eraser. 90% of your books out there, this is all you are going to need. Clean dust, erase dirt. Seriously, that is pretty much it. Now, if you want to get in depth and try to remove some older oils and things like that, now these won't remove deep like water stains and stuff. Those are in the book. Those are not coming out. So our next thing is Absarine, dirt eraser. Use no pressure and allow the weight of the dirt eraser to work its magic. Absarine putty to clean stubborn oils. That will actually not even stubborn oils. Most of the time you can't even see the oil. Just rub it across there, it gets it off. Kneaded eraser if you cannot use Absarine. And last but not least, a magic eraser. This is very, 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 very harsh. Can severely damage your book, so you must be careful with it. See, a lot of this stuff here can damage your book, so you have to be careful with it. Learn patience, trial and error. I highly suggest that you do this on reader copies of books first, just to try them out. Man, I can't believe how much dirt came off that book just from that. There's not even a cleaning solution or anything on there. Always try it on reader copies first. Man, I can't even tell you how many books I ruined learning how to do this, but they were always reader copies. You can grab cheap reader books off of eBay. I mean, I'm sure you can find them in the quarter and dollar bins at your local LCS or in your own collection. I'm sure you got some reader copies. So anyway, guys, this is part 1 of a cleaning and pressing tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you saw, leave me a comment down below. Hit the CV right there if you want to get part 2. And bell up there lets you notifications, gives you notifications of when I will release part 2, which will actually be very soon. And to my channel subscribers, you guys are awesome. Your name's scrolling here with a huge thank you. And to my my channel members, your names are scrolling. To my channel subscribers, you guys are awesome as well. I thank you for all the support. I can't believe how fast my channel grew, and you know, it's just amazing. I love you guys and you're awesome, and I hope I can give back to you with a little bit of information here. Anyway, thank you for watching and take it easy.